Hi, welcome to the Winds of Jupiter January 2018 tarot reading. Now we're back into eclipse season with a total lunar eclipse January 31st. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing it from the United States as we did in August, but down under is going to get a good view of it. Now this eclipse is going to be closely aligned with Ceres, the asteroid of motherhood and women. Spotlights are going to be put on relationships for lovers, family, friends. And if we look back at what's going on in the first of the month, on January 2nd, there's going to be a full moon in Cancer. And this is about home and hearth. So this whole month is really about things that are happening close to home. There's one other notable thing going on, and I mentioned that in the introduction, of a sextile between Jupiter and Pluto. This is going to be the first of three that are going to be happening throughout the year. And this is going to be about big broad stroke changes of the world and in our culture and our politics as the cosmic collective is changing. And our role as cosmic citizens as well. A renaissance is coming, a spiritual reformation that is going to be quite welcomed. Scorpio is starting to be on a roll, and this started in October when Jupiter went into your sign. But there's been some delays. In November there was some detriments going on and the planets were in conflict. And then things were changing in December. And now it's kind of an open field. All of the planets are going to be going direct, I think from January all the way to March. This is going to be a time for Scorpio to set some basic foundations for things that are going to carry you through for the next year's coming. Now the overall energy card is signifying you. It's the Queen of Cups. And if you've been watching my readings for the last year, the Queen of Cups has come up quite often for these Scorpio readings. It was uncanny how often, really. And I think I mentioned it a couple times. But you not only receive the Queen of Cups in this reading, you have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is paired with the Nine of Cups, which is the Wish card. I think this is a good omen for some good tidings. If you've been injured by some love relationships in the past, this King and Queen is going to help you through this. This January is going to be a time of culminating to some really climactic emotions. And here you have the King and Queen of Cups. There's going to be some sharpening of your self-awareness of your emotions. You're going to be waking up to them. You're not slumbering anymore. I think these two cards, the inevitable King and Queen together, are going to have you reviewing a lot of things about your feelings and how you think about your feelings. I think you're going to be exposing some personal motives and some deep secrets, even about yourself. It's good to have this couple here because there could be some runaway emotions that need to be stopped and walked through. Wounded hearts from the past can heal. But with the Queen in the overall energy card, she's saying to pay attention to your intuition, your gut feelings, dreams. Even write your dreams down. They're going to be really important. But you have to be careful not to go into fantasy land, because right under the Queen is the Page of Cups. And he is about fantasy and losing himself in his imagination. You know, he's either got his head in the clouds from falling in love, or he's just completely depressed from unrequited love. There has to be kind of a balance between that. It is saying here that a lot of the messages that you're going to get is going to be from your unconscious inner self talking to you. Maybe it is time for the Scorpios to have a heart-to-heart talk with themselves. Because they are the type of people where the answers come from within. Now some good things are happening here because on the left, for what you know, you receive the Ten of Cups and the Six of Wands. Now the Ten of Cups is a happiness card, and it's about family, friends, love affairs. It's that glimpse over the rainbow of cups of heaven. But this is where you have to appreciate the small things to enjoy them. And just appreciate the joy of love and being alive. 10 is the number of endings and new beginnings, and that's okay. You're just going on to another leg of happiness. Moving on to new things, challenges. Whatever did happen here, though, was very victorious because you received the Six of Wands. And this card is victory and success. The number 6 indicates love, with kind of a hook on it about having sacrifice involved with it. But that's okay for Scorpios. When they fall in love, they fall deeply in love. And a minor sacrifice is worth it. Now the cards next door to that for what is or can be yours. You receive the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. Now the Seven of Pentacles is a harvest card. Things are coming to harvest. They're coming to fruition from all your hard work, fruits of your labor. But it's a tenuous time. It's a time that you have to be very careful. The harvest isn't in yet. And so you're going to have to watch over the horizon for things to come. You know, you could have rain, hail, earthquake, thunderstorm. Something that's going to shake your cage, so be careful. And it has something to do with illusions, I believe, because you have the Page of Cups that's paired with the Seven of Pentacles. And this guy isn't all there physically. He's living in his mind, and he's living on a sixth sense plane. And it's good to live in the spiritual world because the Queen of Cups does that too. And the Page of Cups is bouncing off the Queen of Cups for this. But you have to be careful that you don't go into a fantasy idea of it, and take love to another level where it really shouldn't be. However, this Page of Cups can bring a lot of creativity into life. But you could see yourself vacillating from happiness with the Ten of Cups to moodiness with the Page of Cups. So maybe try to keep an even keel. But the cards next door for your self-awareness, or your awareness, is the Nine of Cups, the Wish card, and the King of Cups. So now you're going to be hitting an apex of emotions. And of course, with this eclipse coming up on the 31st, the lunar eclipse, maybe there is a need to keep your emotions kind of mellowed out. Now, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of emotions. It's just how you express them with your behavior. And the King and Queen are saying to express them maturely, because that's what the King and Queen are about, is maturity. They've learned from experience, and they have to learn too to be an example for people. You know, they have to be in touch with other people. You can't be like Marie Antoinette, where she's saying, let them eat cake, because she had no reality of poverty, hunger. Now you have the Nine of Cups there, and that's another happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment card. Pretty much equal to the Ten of Cups back there. That's if you're not overindulging too much, or you had over the New Year's. This can just be kind of a mellow luck type thing, that it's always kind of little things happening where you're going, oh, isn't that cool? Wow, that happened that way, how nice. And then again, it can be a redemption of one big wish that you had. I don't know, either way is a good thing. But now it's saying, you know, don't expect all of this to happen right away, because you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Empress for the future cards. Now the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the court. He just kind of trots along and accumulates things. But he warns you not to rush into things. This is where you really have to deliberate with yourself and find out what you really want and where you're headed here in the future. You're given a new beginning with the Ace of Cups, a new emotional beginning. How cool with all of this, the Nine of Cups and the King and Queen of Cups. Now it is saying that you have to enjoy the journey. It's not the destination necessarily. That's all of the senses. With the Empress there too, she is about the material senses of life and enjoyment. Sex, the aestheticness of smells and sight, hearing soothing music, hearing soothing words. And the Empress too is about new beginnings with her fertility, and also about harvest, back there with the Seven of Pentacles where you're waiting for a harvest. Here your harvest has come in, and now you're given a new beginning, a new emotional beginning. I think this is taking it up an octave too, because this emotional reset button that's going to happen here in January 31st for the lunar eclipse, the total lunar eclipse, is a new beginning too. And here you have the Ace of Cups. And although you didn't receive the Two of Cups or the Lover's card, I think between the King and Queen and some type of creation, along with the Empress, is saying, yeah, there's going to be some love relationships, some very satisfying ones. And wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.